Ha guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Steph Curry's wordless reaction to Warrior Steve Kerr announcement. Steve Kerr made history on Saturday night after leading the Golden State Warriors to a 97-94 win over the New York Knicks. While this may have seemed like nothing more than a regular season victory for the Warriors shot caller, this was actually Kerr's 558th win with Golden State, allowing him to set the record for the most regular season wins in franchise history. There's no denying, however, that Kerr would not have reached this historic milestone had it not been for Steph Curry. The former back-to-back MVP took to Instagram on Sunday to share his wordless reaction to the Warriors' historic announcement on Kerr. Curry did not use any words to congratulate his longtime coach, instead opting for a single raising hands emoji, which is usually used to celebrate success. Curry and Kerr have been through a whole lot in their 11 years together with their Warriors, and this includes no less than 4 NBA championships. They're far from done though, as they look to make even more history together. Since the mid-season arrival of Jimmy Butler, Golden State has looked like a different animal, and they have now climbed to the number 6 spot in the Western Conference behind a blistering 7-game winning streak. At this point, both Kerr and Curry are intent on adding to the former all-time wins record, which could potentially lead to championship number 5. Draymond blasts Stephen A. for weak LeBron. Bronny comments. ESPN analyst Stephen A. Smith made waves recently after a verbal encounter with NBA superstar LeBron James during the Los Angeles Lake matchup with the New York Knicks on March 8. Smith confirmed LeBron approached him about comments made about his son Bronny James by the ESPN talking head. Stephen A. Smith begins first take confirming that LeBron James confronted him at last night's Lakers game over comments about Bronny James that wasn't a basketball player confronting me. That was a parent, that was a father. Shortly after, Smith made an appearance on Gil's Arena saying he thought James' decision to approach him in that manner was weak and Bulls Warriors forward Draymond Green took exception to Smith's comments, citing his disapproval of the ESPN analyst's choice of words on the matter during a recent episode of the Draymond Green Show with Baron Davis. I think a lot of problems that guys have with media is to call something that man did abused and weak. Like those are words when we grew up, like you'd get hands put on you when we grew up in those types of words, Green said. So the problem that people have with media is you go on you're like, oh that's weak, like calling another man weak. That's not basketball, which is actually what Braun was saying in the first place. Let's keep it basketball, because calling a man weak, that's not basketball, and you're paid to talk about basketball. You call Braun weak for stepping to you, but you're taking shots at him as a father on TV behind a camera. Most would say that's weak, and then he will say I'm paid to do that. No, you're paid to analyze, you're paid to debate on the show. Green then mentioned a run-in with former Warriors general manager and current colleague of Smith's, Bob Myers. As soon as I saw him, Smith say it, Bob was up here that day, Green explained, and Bob was like, I work with Stephen A. tomorrow. Got yelled game tonight, I'm in the studio tomorrow, so I'm with Stephen A. I was like, oh, you make sure you tell Stephen A. that I have no respect for what he said yesterday. Green further detailed that Smith's initial comments irritated him as well. You go on TV, national TV, calling out this African American, this black father who has raised another successful black young man. Green said you go on TV calling him out as a father because his son plays in the NBA. That's as backward. How does that even make sense? While Smith has never shied away from speaking what's on his mind, Green certainly doesn't either. Smith's comments clearly have struck a nerve with not only James but others around the NBA as well. It's hard to adequately quantify momentum, but it's something that can't be ignored when a team is rolling like the Warriors are right now. Golden State is 14-2 since acquiring All-NBA wing Jimmy Butler via trade, with confidence levels through the roof as the Warriors continue to rack up wins following Saturday's 97-94 victory over the New York Knicks. Draymond Green offered a very blunt assessment of Butler's impact on the Warriors. It's a real real ball club now. Green told ABC's Lisa Salters, with Butler on this team, whether he has 11 points or 30, it makes us a real ball club, and when we're a real club we usually win championships. Balin State's gritty triumph over New York is the 12th consecutive game the Warriors have won with Butler in the lineup, improving the Dubs' record to 14-1 overall when the six-time NBA All-Star takes the court for them. The Warriors long have been synonymous with NBA greatness, and Butler's presence now allows Green to enter games with a similar confidence Golden State exuded when it spent the better part of a decade at the pinnacle of the sport. Feels great after getting beat up on a little bit the last few years. It feels amazing to just walk in and know that you have a chance to win. Green told Salters, that's what we play for. You put a lot of work in, you want to play on the biggest stage to put these wins together. It feels amazing. Warriors could pull off high-risk high-reward trade for Clippers superstar in off-season. According to the Sporting News, Caleb Hightower, the Clippers may be inclined to trade Leonard if his health continues to be a major concern. However, despite making his presence felt on the hardwood, it's reasonable to assume the Clippers are growing weary of Leonard's persistent injury issues. Hightower wrote the Warriors would likely view Leonard as a wild card, but if a Kevin Durant reunion continues to fall through, Golden State could pivot to the former Toronto Raptors stud and form a daunting big three in the Bay there. Risks with acquiring a talent like Leonard are prevalent. The two-time NBA Finals MVP has played north of 60 games only once since 2019-20. Leonard has gotten hurt at inopportune times for the Clippers, missing pivotal playoff series in that span. Nevertheless, what he brings to the floor when healthy is generational. The six-time All-Star average is 24.3 points, 6.4 rebounds, 4.2 assists and 1.6 steals per game in his tenure in Los Angeles. The two-time Defensive Player of the Year would form an all-time great front-court defense next to fellow former Defensive Player of the Year Draymond Green and five-time All-Defensive Team honoree Jimmy Butler. What it would take to acquire Leonard would likely include rising star Jonathan Kuminga, and not only so, but a collection of first-round picks and a large contract to match salaries. Nevertheless, if the surging Warriors do not win the 2025 NBA Finals, they could roll the dice on Leonard. He could establish another dynasty in the Bay if his health persists. And you fan, what do you think? NK about Kawhi Leonard's situation? Write to us in the comments.